till day I separate for the rest of my life. Rest of my life.
We were talking about the good old boomer shooters earlier in Doom, so I'm just waiting for the cast to get in as we talk about this stuff. But the Doom podcast was fun. Dude, Dark Ages looks fucking amazing. I'm sorry, like I'm talking about when you have a chainsaw just mangling someone's like midsection. That's I see Rat and I see. Let's invite him to the stage. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. I'll invite to speak. I assume that's how it works. There we go.
Hi, Ren. How you doing today?
I am doing pleasant,
there you go.
actually. This
great.
is the first time I've done this, so it's a little bit weird, but I didn't know I was gonna alert everyone. But that's something that I need to realize for later. So other boomer shooters in Doom. Brad, actually, do you have history with like Duke Nukem and everything? Because I'm kind of curious.
My history with Duke Nukem actually started with 0 Hour for the Nintendo 64. I didn't really play the Duke Nukem games because they weren't as accessible as, say, the Doomers.
That is an interesting starting point, actually.
Yep.
I've okay.
I went from I'm sorry to interrupt. I went from 0 Hour to 64, which is the Nintendo 64 conversion of Duke Nukem, where it makes the levels less mature. Like instead of a strip club, you walk into like a garage.
I just remember Duke's like really stupid lines like your face, your ass. What's the difference?
I mean, it's just Evil Dead.
Yeah, I know, but still,
yeah, basically.
it's still so funny. And I remember
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah, it's just so dumb, and the Schwarzenegger like impersonations are just hilarious. You gotta play it, you gotta see it. I think I started with Time to Kill. Time to Kill was the one on the PlayStation 1, if I remember correctly. And I remember there was I think it was multiplayer. There was multiplayer in Time to Kill, and me and my friend used to just kill the fuck out of each other in that game. That was really fun in Duke Nukem. But as we have a guest, David, yeah, we're talking about just any Doom questions or boomer shooters or anything of that nature. Do you have any opinions on it?
Oh, my opinion about Doom.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Doom. The floor is yours.
This is a tough one because if I were to admit I haven't actually played Doom. I haven't actually played Doom Eternal. That was the only Doom game I haven't played aside from Doom 64. But if I have a question that I would ask, what fits Doom better, the action horror aspect or the survival horror aspect that was from Doom 3? Doom 3.
We talked
Action
about
horror.
that. Yeah, we talked about that on the pod. It's just Doom's ingrained with action horror. So if it's anything I would like prefer overall, I would say action horror. It's not bad that they tried to go in a survival horror route, but it just doesn't fit Doom. That's why I said it's like Doom in name only, because it's a very highly it's a game that's like made from high production value. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I would have preferred it to be called something else.
Okay. I think personally I preferred the action horror aspect of Doom, because it just feels much more fun playing it from an action horror perspective.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Action horror definitely works a lot better for the vibe of Doom. Like even from the original games, because I've seen some opinions of people saying just like, oh, because Doom was horror from the beginning. Yes, but it was action horror. Like you had demons and all of that, but you weren't defenseless against them. Like you could defend with them. But Doom 3
Yeah.
feels a lot more of just like, oh my god, I need to be resourceful and everything. And I mean, that's good for other games, but for Doom, like you're stripping me of the vibe of Doom. You're stripping me of the feeling of Doom, the soul of Doom, which is just like heavy metal, chainsaws,
Yeah. Yeah.
shotguns, blood
Yeah.
gods, all of that. That's the spirit of Doom.
If
I don't
Yeah,
mean to
you
interrupt.
wanted
yeah.
to take
Oh.
if you wanted to take a game from the 21st century to compare to Doom to, I would say it's Resident Evil 4. Because yes, Resident Evil 4's signature dish is horror, and it is a scary game once in a while, but it is also very heavy on its action, on all of its cool guns that you carry, all of the eventual cool enemies you encounter, and you feel like a badass when you play it.
Wait, but would you feel that it's more Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5? Because I will say more 5 than 4. Because even 4 was still a little bit more with the horror vibe to it, but 5 is just
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
full on
think.
action.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah. I
Rad.
think 5.
Oh, go on, Dave. I didn't mean to. But yeah.
You were saying something,
I will
David?
say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was about
Yeah.
to go
Oh,
on.
sorry. Sorry. Anyway, I think what Rad was saying there, I think Doom kind of, it's kind of similar to like Resident Evil 5, a bit more than Resident Evil 4.
I mean, to me personally, you could say they are essentially like the same type of games gameplay wise, but RE5 has like a lot more additions to it, and obviously with co-op there, it is going to be a whole different experience for sure. So you could say that all the little scary moments are kind of gone in RE5, and it's like full on action at this rate, but it's still not a bad tradition for what they tried to carry on with. But I think when we got to 6, that's when it was a problem for like most people.
Yeah,
I think.
because
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt, but yeah,
No,
six
no, that's
was.
a good.
I replayed six with a friend, and like it's a giant mess of a game, dude. Like it's so weird because Leon's campaign starts off really strong, but then it kind of really dips in quality around chapter 3, 4, and 5. I was like, bro, this is a lot worse than I remember.
I kind of want to move it to Quake, and I want to ask Rad a question. So when it comes to like Quake and Doom, what do you prefer more?
When it comes down to it, Doom and Quake is the step up that Doom was over Wolfenstein 3D. In Wolfenstein, you had these boxy rooms with absolutely no change in elevation. Doom, you got elevation and stairs. Quake just added another dimension to literal room design. It was no longer like boxy rectangles. It absolutely changed how levels are made. It's like a lot of FPS games you know and admire today. They have more in common with Quake than they do Doom.
Yeah, it was like I was reading some like sort of opinions on this, and it was like I played Quake for a little bit. I mostly played the multiplayer, and I was kind of like, I like the movement in this game a lot. It's really, really good, but it kind of doesn't have like a shotgun or typical things like that I'm used to in Doom. So in certain ways, I prefer Doom in areas, and in other ways in movement, I kind of like how Quake was moving. But I like both games, so I think they accomplished what they set out to do by making them, distinctive from each other.
It's important to note the point that Bird made during the podcast, where if it weren't for Doom, you wouldn't get a lot of the games you have today. Literally, if it wasn't for Quake, you wouldn't get Half-Life.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Like that is very true because
Oh yeah. 100%.
Quake predated Half-Life by 2 years, but yeah. Yeah.
I've never played the original Half-Life. I've only touched what was it, Black Mesa, and I played it for a
I'm-
little bit, and
I'm gonna
I felt like
I'm gonna
my
give you-
brain was fried. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of lost.
Yeah.
I'll give you a recommendation for experiencing a nice, interesting way of the first Half-Life that actually might be worth it. Try the PS2 version. Trust me, it's actually pretty cool, and it has an exclusive campaign, Half-Life Decay, that is not available anywhere else. And trust me, the game is actually really fun. The load times might be a little bit weird sometimes, but trust me, the port for the PS2 is cool as fuck.
The
Oh.
first Half-Life has a PS2 version?
Yes.
Yes, and it's the sickest PS2 game that I've ever played.
Yeah.
I've
it does.
honestly never heard of that. I knew about the failed Dreamcast version, but I didn't know it was on.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh,
I think actually my memory is unlocking seeing footage of the PS2 version on YouTube. Now that I think about it, but
I didn't know it was on the Dreamcast. I was like, wait a minute, Half-Life was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
There was a version that was
Yes.
canceled.
Oh, okay, I see.
Same here. I was like, wait. They tried doing a Dreamcast version of Half-Life?
They tried it. They failed. Apparently, they just
The
canceled
right
it.
thing to do, because at the
work.
time Half-Life was out, Dreamcast was like hot hardware, and PlayStation ain't dealing with Half-Life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
Very interesting.
PlayStation was ahead of Dreamcast.
Yeah,
Attack.
that's kind of why it just went out the door. And I think another reason is why, you know, the exclusives that they had was just so much more appealing. Dude, when I saw Devil May Cry 1 for the first time, I was like, holy shit, I need to get this console now. And then on the cusp of that, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 2, what is it, Sons of Liberty, and that was like, okay, now I definitely have to get a PS2. And then there's GTA 3, now I definitely have to get a PS2. So I was just like bombarded by like great games and IPs that I just kind of forgot about the Dreamcast. But I do think it's a gem for what it is. It just kind of, it's like lame the way it went out, you know, but that's kind of on Sega at that point. But I don't know, it's a couple of boomer shooters I played. I played Shadow Warrior 1 and I played Shadow Warrior 3, and I remember just liking the co-op of 3, and then in 1 they had some interesting sort of relic mechanics that you could do. Like you could set people on fire. That shit was amazing. And chop them in half with swords, like
and-
the newer ones. Yeah.
The ones boomer shooters that
I'll
I
let you go,
played.
Crow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one boomer shooter that I played and can recommend, it's off the Doom engine, Heretic.
Heretic. That sounds familiar.
Heretic takes Doom
Heretic, huh?
into a medieval mages and monsters setting where you are a literal heretic from the order that has taken over your land. And you are given wands and crossbows and staffs, and they all fire cool projectiles. And instead of fighting imps and demons, you fight golems, you fight wizards, you fight this werewolf motherfucker that breathes fire at you called a were-dragon.
A what?
A were-dragon.
A werewolf that breathes fire.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, they blow fire on you.
Oh, it had a
Yes,
sequel.
Actually, I'm gonna change my question. Ren,
Yeah.
was it Ren and Rad? Have you guys ever tried out Mullet Mad Jack on Steam?
Mullet Mad Jack. No, I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
Oh, so it's a boomer shooter. It's kind of it's sort of like more of a boomer shooter in the sense it's kind of like it's in the style of like an old 80s anime. I tried out the demo, it's really cool. Apparently what you have to do is like main character is kind of is it on the screen there's this chick that's like giving him orders, and you have to like sort of kill all these enemies and get through the stage really fast in like 15 seconds, because if you don't you die instantaneously. But each time you kill an enemy, you get like more time at it, so it's kind of like this fast frenetic game. Like I played some of the demo. It was pretty fun. Let me link it to you guys.
I should give that game a shot.
I'm looking at the gameplay, and It reminds me of what the fuck was that game called? It's like Mad World mixed in with Doom, mixed in with like Killer 7. Is weird to describe actually. Like, yeah, it looks like those three games just, I'm gonna take Cryo's analogy, like put them in a corral and say let's fuck. That's kind of what happened here.
Come on, fuck.
Now fuck, please.
So,
I have a few more
Go on.
modern games I'm thinking of while I have the chance.
here, guy.
Obviously, for minimalist boomer shooters, you have Project Warlock. You have
Oh, that's what it is.
Extranium, which got put into early access and is more of a, oh, look at the cutesy little demons type of Wolfenstein-esque shooter, but it hooked me and I recommend it. And hell, if you like your roguelike boomer shooters, there's Nightmare Reaper.
Sorry.
Oh,
Interesting.
that one is cool.
You will
Yeah.
run into weapons with a random projectile. And at this point, I mentioned Heretic. There's a weapon called the Fire Mace. And Heretic
What?
has items where you can enhance the weapon's power called the Tome of Power. The Fire Mace shoots out little tiny mace balls that do little to nothing, but if you upgrade it with the Tome of Power, it shoots out a huge metal ball that nearly kills anything it touches. In Nightmare Reaper, your random weapon can end up being shotgun pellets the size of boulders.
Really? The
Uh,
size of
certainly.
boulders?
Yep, yes,
Oh.
really. And they bounce around the stage and continuously damage anyone that runs into them. It's fucking incredible.
Interesting.
also, that
Very
add
interesting.
to add to what Rad was talking about with Heretic, it was all because I actually found out about the game fairly recently. It was actually one of the first person shooters to actually sift through your inventory like that, as well as spawn multiple gibs
Is
instead of making you fall into like a heap, like just crumple.
Yeah.
It and mind you, it was using a heavily modified Doom engine.
And it was developed by Raven Software.
Yep.
oh, they
You
made
might-
And also
yeah.
you can move the
God.
camera.
X-Men Legends people.
You could also
Interesting.
move the
Very
camera
interesting.
up and down, left
Yep.
and right too.
Because
It was
if
one of
you're
the first
gonna
things I could
make,
do that.
if
Sorry.
it is going to make a game, chances are Raven Software is going to be right there to take your game, take your engine, and innovate upon it. What it did with Doom, Raven did with Heretic.
Interesting. I should give it a shot.
So there's, God damn it, I fucking forgot what I was gonna bring up.
Um,
I think it was since you said Raven Software, I believe they worked on a Wolfenstein game. I think it was a 2009 one,
Yeah.
which is the one I
It
played.
was
Yes, they did.
2009
Yes, they
Wolfenstein.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was.
They did. It's
there's like a bone melting gun in that fucking game, like a
Yeah.
particle disintegrator, and I shot someone with it, and when I saw they turned into like a charred skeleton, I'm like, okay, this game is phenomenal, I need to play it more.
I I'm
remember
surprised-
not liking 09 very much because it delved too much into the supernatural. It felt very un-Wolfenstein.
It did. It was a lot of like weird sort of these spectral like enemies just sort of chasing you around, and they looked like they were all charred up, and it was just kind of weird. I liked how they handled it with Wolfenstein the New Order, I believe, because it was like you certain arena, there's these like kind of robotic dogs, and there's these like human Nazis you go around and kill, and it was very straightforward, but I kind of liked their approach to it. I haven't played any of the sequels, but all I heard was people kind of like trash on them, like New Colossus and everything that came out later. I only seen one scene from New Colossus, and that's the guy's like BJ Blazkowicz's head like kind of fell off, and then they reattached it in
he gets his
Futurama's.
head cut off.
So it's like, what the fuck? I was like, what is going on, and how is he still alive? And they pulled a Futurama where they reattached his head and he's fine. So I was just like, okay, I guess we'll go with that.
Oh, Yeah, we were talking about like other boomer shooter games.
Mhm.
For those that watched a lot of AVGN videos, uh, there was one there was one episode of his I could not stop laughing. Did you know there was a Christian version of Doom?
You gotta be
what?
fucking. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, they
Isn't Doom inherently Christian already?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Like, there's a lot of demons everywhere.
You're not wrong.
There is that one commercial for the Jaguar where it's a pastor and he explains what you're going to hell, and when you get there you blast those demons in the head until there's nothing left.
It was basically a Christian version of Wolfenstein and Doom, and in fact, it actually used the engine. And the reason why is because this was when Nintendo was like bad shit. Well, compared to now, they were really bad shit crazy about their
Advertisements.
yeah, and what they would approve. And there was a I think it was for the I think it was the SNES.
It was Super Noah's Ark, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
And it was a
because
label.
Was dark.
it's instead of guns you shoot feed at goats and they fall
Yes.
asleep instead of dying.
Ah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they did this so Nintendo wouldn't go after them.
Yeah. In fact, they changed a lot about the SNES version of Wolfenstein 3D. Like, you don't kill Hitler, you kill Stadtmeister. I think it's State Master in German. My German's kind of bad.
I've
Oh, that is an game.
I've
It
never
was
noticed that.
hilarious. It was so hilarious when I saw AVGN's video on it, and I'm like, oh. And then he went to more detail about it, and he said that something about the uh, people making their own games. Nintendo hated that, so what they did was they made it so it would have to be a specific chip in order for the NES, not the NES, the SNES to actually read it.
Yeah. There was a logic
And
chip in the cartridge, so all you had
Yep.
to do was stick Super Mario World on top of it and game would run.
Yep. And the people that made Super Noah's Ark, they found a way to skirt past that, and that's how got the bougie Doom Wolfenstein game.
Bougie Doom.
Yo,
Oh,
Like,
oh.
let's make
Doom.
Christian Doom. Let's make Doom even more of a Christian game.
Would people consider like Turok to be boomer shooter or nah?
I
uh,
think
I think so,
it-
yeah.
It's on the cusp.
can
It
count.
has the DNA there. It has levels. It has cool weapons.
I played some of Turok on Xbox, and then I think the one I was introduced into was Turok 3, and I just remember the intro being so hilarious. Like, this guy just gets like shot down a flight of stairs, and I was like, what is this game? And then there's these giant like sort of alien creatures running around. I was like, I thought this was about dinosaurs at first, but I played a little bit of the online with Kaneki, and I thought it was fun, just going around and hitting people with like bows and arrows and stuff like that. It was a really good time. I actually want to do like sort of a playthrough of that with the multiplayer online if we can manage it. I know we wanted to do Doom, but I would like to do that someday. Yeah, but Doom, how is like that port for everyone co-op wise if you played it?
Hmm.
I've been purposely holding it off because I'd rather try it out with you guys instead of random.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. I think tomorrow I won't have anything to do in the evening, so I will pretty much be down for that, down to play whenever. But is there any other boomer shooters that you guys want to mention?
I want to mention one specifically that I need more people to bring this one up because it's a really cool game and more if you like Quake and stuff like that. But a Medieval by New Blood Entertainment, that's a
Yes.
sick ass
Heard of that, actually.
game.
Yes, that is a 10 out of 10 game for me. The levels
Yes.
are so perfect.
So it's called a
The level.
medieval.
A mid.
A mid, yeah.
Okay.
AMID.
A
Evil.
mid.
A mid.
Okay.
It is not mid.
It is not mid. It is good. Holy shit! The
That's
speed.
appreciation.
Holy shit! The speed in this game is insane. I'm looking at it right now.
It's
Yeah.
like there's episodes worth of levels that have their own environments and enemies, and the look of it is
The weapons
just
and everything.
right.
It's something.
It's a purple like mess looking weapon, the Eternum. It's like one of the best BFG lights you could imagine.
Oh,
Something that I
shit.
like. Something that I like so much about this game is that the vibe that it gives. I don't see many games or even just like media do it correctly because the vibe of the game, the genre of the game is basically space fantasy. Like you see castles, you see knights and all of that, but also you see a mixture of like alien creatures and stuff like that. You will see a lot of like planets, moons, suns, and stuff like that, but mixed up with a lot of like castles and like carriages and horses, just like a lot of that. And it's such a vibe that I fucking love so much. Like I see very few media just like in general do it, so seeing it in this game, it was just like yes, my god, yes, I want more of that, way more things of that.
I see people getting zapped with like a Merlin wand, and it's like tracking them, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, this looks amazing, dude.
Oh my god, that actually looks amazing.
At any point when you build up a certain meter, you are supercharged, and so are all of your weapons for like 30 seconds.
For 30 seconds.
Yes.
I'm
Wow,
just,
wow, that's
I'm loving this so far. I might put this on my list because
There is a staff where you shoot planets
Planets.
at
Yes.
enemies.
so I can
Wait,
be
wait.
Thanos in this game. All right.
just fucking snap people to oblivion. Why not? Why the fuck
Alright,
not?
so,
No,
Yeah,
if
Yeah,
you
you literally
game.
shoot a planet. That's the equivalent of your rocket launcher because the planets are like super compressed, and when you shoot them, they explode. So they destroy like everything around them. It's
Yeah.
so cool. All the weapons and designs are just like freaking amazing.
Holy
You know,
shit.
There is a weapon in the DLC where it's just Fist of the North Star.
touch
When
someone,
you-
they
when
just
you-
blow up.
When you upgrade it, you punch them rapidly. You straight up start platinum a motherfucker.
I was about to say,
You know,
Unbelievable. Shindig. Wait,
there's
there's
another
another.
There's what?
wait, hmm?
Of a medieval, yeah, I think there was no.
There was a DLC expansion just released, I think, either last
Yeah,
year
the
or
DLCs.
recently.
Oh, okay.
No, I was talking about there's a demo of a medieval.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
So I wanna move on to something. There's something else I want to mention. Hold on, give me 1 minute. I want to ask Rad something. So Rad, there was a game you were playing in the call, and it was a boomer shooter. I forget the name though. Do you recall like you were showing me like some game where you were in these levels and you were blowing people away, and it was a boomer shooter, and I don't think it was a medieval. I think it was something else. Let me see if I can actually find what the name is. But yeah, you were playing something in Call. Do you remember what it was?
I think you're going to have to jog my memory as to like what you were doing or what type of enemies it was. I'm sorry.
You were doing
Like,
you were
nothing's
kind of
coming to
doing
mind.
you were kind of doing some platforming, and there was like lava everywhere, and there was also like some cool music on top of it. I don't think that it's Metal Hellsinger. I think it's something else. It was kind of 2D. Let me actually see if I can find it. But
Yeah.
Andre, you were going to say something?
I have one more. I have one more boomer shooter, and then
Okay.
I'll let
I
Rad
will
go.
step off the floor.
Okay.
Because if you
Okay.
like your Duke Nukem, but you want it to be a little darker, Blood.
Oh
I
yes.
think I've heard. I think I've heard of it.
Blood stars one of my favorite FPS protagonists, Caleb. And he is instead of Duke Nukem being the suave Sylvester Stallone action movie guy, Caleb is a cackling madman throwing dynamite.
Jesus.
That's the way he is. It's like one of the best introductions where he rises out from his grave. I live again.
Yeah, I've heard of Blood.
He
Actually, I
has
do want
such
to
a
try
great
that.
voice. Shout outs to Stephen Waite, who absolutely kills it as Caleb. In like, he can act and he can say the dumbest evil deadlines and make it sound sinister and psychotic. Good, bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
There's another game I want to recommend. Angerfoot. It's I played the demo on Steam. Basically it's like too long to read. The whole story of it is you just play as a angry guy trying to find his sneakers. I played some of the demo. It's you die like one hit, but and like it's kind of I wouldn't say it's like a maze. It's kind of like very linear corridors where you go to rooms. It's pretty fun though. Yeah, the demo's free on Steam.
I did not know there was a Warhammer boomer shooter. I had no idea that existed.
Bolt Gun is not a boomer shooter. It is actually closer to Doom 2016.
Mhm.
And I'm actually kind of iffy on it for one simple reason: the health pickups. There is no real middle ground with it. Doom, you can pick up things that give you 10 health, 25 health. In Bolt Gun, you pick up things that give you 1 health, or you can find these things hidden in like crates that give you 100 health.
Mhm.
Like there's no in between, and I find that I'm struggling too much to fully enjoy the game.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's all right. There is some charm there, but when you start playing it, when you start getting overwhelmed by waves and waves of enemies, and you're looking for those, where the fuck could those power ups be? It just kind of nullifies whatever fun you're having.
Have you guys ever
Oh.
played any of the Serious Sam games?
I played
But
the
yes,
first game, but I felt it got a little too repetitive, and the enemies were always in your face, and they felt to be a bit too strong for you to handle, so you're running backwards as opposed to running towards the danger.
Yeah, it was one I played. It was a recent one. It was okay, but I totally can get like you get like way too overwhelmed, and it seems like just it gets kind of boring after a while. So yeah, there was another one that I wanted to bring. I guess some people brought up Unreal Tournament. It's a boomer shooter. It's like I played that only online for like a little bit, and when I kept getting gibbed over and over because that's what happens in that game, I kind of just turned it off at that rate. But yeah,
Let me
Huh.
look through my library.
you were saying something, Crow?
Uh,
Ion Fury apparently is another one.
Ion Fury, that's one I wanted to mention.
I am Fury.
because
Yes.
It's based off the build engine, and it's a build engine game in the 21st century. It has some interesting weapons, and fuck those people in the red hoods,
No.
because they have these like charged crossbow shots and they really hurt. I think there was a point in the game where I just got stuck, and it was like this boss where you had to fight battleship that spawns other enemies, and I just wasn't equipped enough to fight them, and I think I just got stuck in that game. But from what little I did play of it, it's got the charm of Duke Nukem. It's got the map design, so that's another Duke-like I can point to if people like that style or
Yeah,
they love build
100%.
engine games.
I'm looking at a trailer so far. I really do like their shotguns are kind of cool actually. I like this, and their environments as well. Oh, you can go like what? There's platforming in this game. That's like it zooms out the camera. It's a little bit weird, but so far I don't see too much issue with it. But yeah, if you can get easily lost, I know I'm probably gonna be stuck for a little bit. Oh, the guy is eating pizza, so that's always funny to see. What the hell? I didn't even know Drill was here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He was listening to us.
I'm surprised we haven't really delved too much in a topic about like mods.
Yeah, it's just in
With
terms
nothing,
of
but yeah.
other mods, I haven't really played a lot. I've been experimenting with them on the new Doom release for the update.
Army of Darkness.
There's one for Evil Dead. I didn't know it.
Ren,
Yeah,
Batman Doom.
there's a Batman Day. Are you freaking serious? There's no way.
There's a Batman Doom. You kill enemies by throwing batarangs at them.
Oh, that's
There's
And-
It exists. It actually exists.
There's a berserk power up in the first real level. You can Batman people to death.
Oh, dude, that is incredible. Hold on, you can download that right now on the new update, right?
On the new
Yeah.
update, yes.
Okay, I'm totally hopping on that as soon as I can.
Also, or the Army of Darkness mod, it turns the pinky enemies into the skeletons.
Oh, okay, I see.
There's
And the
also
chainsaw-
okay.
The chainsaw turns into the Evil Dead chainsaw. And the shotgun turns into the super shotgun.
Have
Boomstick, if you will.
this is my
Mhm.
boomstick. Has
Yep.
any-
And what else? The power ups are his metal hand.
can't find that game Rat was playing. I was like,
Yeah. Sorry. I've played a dozen of them. I don't know if there's. My mind is very foggy right now.
I think it might be Nightmare Reaper.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be that game. That's the one that I might have seen you playing. Do you have that game? What do you think about it?
I love it. Like, it can get a little frustrating with certain RNG layouts, but otherwise, the possibility of the weapons being batshit insane keeps me coming back. And there's a new game plus. So, what you got in the first game and still have on hand, you can take with you. And the game accommodates. It's like a second quest. It gets harder on the second quest.
They have a giant bazooka in this game. The art
yeah,
style
guys,
looks pistollated and amazing too. So I like this.
Yep, a super shotgun. I'm going to make this sound incredibly Ren, but you blast someone with a shotgun and the pellets turn into big black balls
Wait,
Dude, what the fuck, bro?
that bounce
my
around.
God. But
well,
yeah, guys, I'm gonna head off. It was nice talking to you guys. You have a good
Yeah.
night.
see you later,
Me
man.
too,
Take
yeah.
care.
I want to
Take
also
care,
drop off
guys.
for now.
All right, see you.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Alright.
Take care, man. Take care, guys. Well, sorry I disconnected Run, by the way.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah,
Uh,
take care.
I think that's it for now. Do you guys have any other sort of boomer shooters you want to bring up, or you want to end the show right here?
There is Proteus.
Road.
Proteus is a game where if you like Doom 2016, but you also like the pixel style of a game that feels like classic Doom, Proteus is a really good hybrid.
I'm probably gonna look at some gameplay right now, real quick. But
I don't know if it's still on Xbox Game Pass or not.
Aw. Well, if it's on PC and is really for dirt cheap, I don't mind picking it up actually.
It is definitely on PC. What else do I have on my Steam repertoire that I don't mind fubbing about in? Obviously, Rise of the Triad. Rise of the Triad got an outstanding Ludicrous edition by Night Dive, whom you've talked to, so you know how well Stephen Kick and the boys be doing.
He does, like, he was talking up Big Storm about Hexen, Blood, a lot of these older boomer shooters or older games that he wanted to port, horror games as well. So I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool that he wants to do all that. And also the thing is coming out this year, and I can't wait to get my hands on that, honestly.
Like Rise of the Triad goes into outstanding detail, where there were a bunch of scanned models of soldiers they wanted to use in the game, but there was no time to like complete them and give them proper voices. The remaster does that. You can switch between the regular enemies and the alternative unused enemies, where they got voice actors to add in new dialogue for them. It's like it goes above and beyond. It includes the extreme Rise of the Triad, which are levels that you must never play because they will ruin your life. It includes, since this is a night dive project, it includes a brand new episode. And it's just this Rise of the Triad. It's just. It is more than Rise of the Triad deserves, and I like Rise.
Oh,
Like,
this also looks like another really cool one from just looking at the gameplay alone. Like another really fast pace, you're just blasting away with like your machine guns, and I like how the enemies are just regular like schmoes, like,
yeah.
and then there's
There are cases where you shoot them, they get on their knees and beg for their lives. No, don't shoot. No, don't shoot.
I kind of like that realistic aspect, to be honest, and then you just shoot them in the head anyway.
But psych, they get back up and pull a last resort on you.
Also, it's one of those enemies where it's like they feign death and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden they try to attack you. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
falling for that. I'm shooting them right in the head.
Yep.
But this segment was fun, actually. We definitely have to do it more often when there's some fun talks of certain genres. I think I might cut this part out and just upload it as like we just go ham on boomer shooters and talk about what we love so much. So this was a great segment, honestly. So people get like 2 bangs for the buck, Doom and this. I think we're gonna sign out now, though. This was amazing. Whenever we do more guest segments or we do segments in general for games like this, I'm definitely gonna let people know. And this is the Infinite Ammo Syndicate signing off once again. So you guys out there in YouTube land, take care of yourselves, and as always, be safe, be good people. See you later.